All right, today we're going to talk about similarity shortcuts. When you took geometry, you talked about all of these shortcuts before. There are 3 similarity shortcuts that we're going to talk about. We have angle, angle, side, 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 and side, angle, side. So what that means is that for angle, angle, we are looking at having 2 sets of angles that are congruent. These arcs, the single arc here is showing that angle A is congruent to angle D because they're both marked with a single arc. Angle B is congruent to angle E because they're both marked with a double arc. So what I like to do is I like to use A's for angles. So I'm marking these triangles with 2 angles. So I can see that there's 2 angles here and 2 angles here. In this triangle, we don't have any information about angles. We only have information about sides. So what this is saying is that the 3 sides are proportional. Proportional means we can set up ratios and they simplify to the same thing. So in this triangle, if I compare the longest side to the longest side of this triangle, I would have 20/10. That ratio simplifies to 2/1. If I compare the medium side here to the medium side here, that's 14/7, which is 2/1. And if I compare the short side here to the short side here, that's 12/6, which is 2/1. Since all of these reduce to the same ratio, the sides are proportional. So I would say that this side and this side match up with S's, these sides match up here, and these sides match up here. So when I look at one triangle at a time, there's 3 sides and there's 3 sides. That's where the SSS comes from. This one, side, angle, side, it's saying that there's 2 sides that are proportional and the angle that's included, which that means between the sides, is the same. So in this picture, B and E are the same. So that's the angle I would mark with an A. And then we're looking at the sides. The longer side here to the longer side here gives me 3/1. And the shorter side here to the shorter side there would give me 3/1. They're the same ratio. So this side matched to this side matched to this side. When I look at one triangle at a time, I can see the angle is between the 2 sides, and same thing here. The angle is between the 2 sides. Okay, so now we're going to do some practice on the next page to match up the triangles that are similar. So the first thing you want to think about is similar means they're the same shape, but they're just like a different size, like one's blown up, okay? So when we look at these pictures that are on this page, thinking about what we just talked about, we talked about angle, angle, we talked about side, 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 and we talked about side, angle, side. Those are the 3 things we talked about. So I want to look at these pictures and let's first see if I see any triangles that have 2 sets of angles in them. I see E here has 92 and 30. So this is an angle and an angle. And then I see this 92 and 30 here. So these 2 are going to be similar by angle, angle. Okay, so we would have E and J by angle, angle. Now, you could flip back over here. So we're going to say E and J by angle, angle. And that little squiggly line is for similarity. Okay, and now you want to look at your paper. Do you have any others that have 2 angles in them? No, there's none that have 2 angle measurements given. So I'm not going to have any other that are angle, angle. So then I want to look to see, I can go to the next one, side, side, side. I've got this one has 3 sides, this one has 3 sides. So I know I'm going to look at these 2. And then I have this one with 3 sides and this one with 3 sides. So if I want to look at these, I'm going to see out of these 4 triangles, which ones look like they're the most similar shapes. I'm going to say B and I are pretty similar in shapes, right? So I want to compare those first. So if I looked at B and I took the shortest side from B, which is 9, and I compared it to the shortest side in I, that's 27. If I reduce that fraction, I get 1/3. Okay, if I take the medium side from B, that's 13, and the medium side from I is 39. So if I did 13 over 39, I also get 1/3. And then if I take the longest side from B is 18, and the longest side from I is 54, and that's 1/3. So I've got 3 sets of sides that match to 3 sets of sides. So B and I are going to be, side, side, side. Okay, now if I look at some other ones, I said F and G have 3 sets of sides, so I want to check that one. So I'm going to go shortest here is 12, shortest up here is 18. If I simplify that, that's 2/3. Medium here is 14, medium here is 21, and that's 2/3. Longest here is 16, longest here is 24, and that's 2/3. So they all simplify to the same fraction, so F and G are similar. So we're going to say F and G by side, side, side. Okay, so we've taken care of this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, and this one. So now, what do we have left? This triangle only has 1 angle marked. 1 angle isn't enough to do any of these, so we're not going to use K. Okay, this triangle only has 2 sides marked. Only 2 sides is not enough, so we know we're not going to use that one. This triangle only has 2 sides, so we're not going to use that one. These two both have 2 sides, and they both have an angle, so it might be side, angle, side. So let's try that. We have the angles that match, so that's good. And now we have to compare the sides. So if I say short side to short side, I'm going to have 5 over 10. That's 1/2. And then if I say, oops, sorry, I did that wrong. Short side would be 3.5 to short side would be 7, which is 1/2. And then long side to long side is 1/2. So this is going to be side, angle, side because this angle is in the middle. So A and D are side, angle, side. Okay, this triangle is the only one I haven't looked at yet, but there's only 1 angle there, so that's not enough information, so we're going to cross that one out.